Hi folks, welcome back to 7.2 video number 2. Now I know I rushed a little bit at the end of this last example in the first video, so I just want to make sure we're clear on where all these things came from, alright? So for angle C, I know I skipped a few steps, but if we cross multiply here, we'll get 8 sine C equals 7 sine 75.522. I'm going to divide both sides by 8. And when I do that, the decimal that I get is this 0.847. And then I'm just going to use inverse sine to find the angle that goes with that. Now to find angle B, I talked through it, but I didn't show the work, that to find angle B, you could do 180 minus angle A minus angle C, which should give you 180 minus, our angle A was 75.522, minus angle B, which was 57.910 degrees, and when you subtract those from 180, you should get a B value of 46.5 degrees, okay? So side, side, side is a very classic law of cosines case, and so is side, angle, side, also very classic law of cosines case. But if you can't remember that, again, you can always try starting with law of sines like we did here, and when we started that, there just wasn't enough information. Okay, so that's kind of how we make those decisions. Start with law of sines. If it doesn't work, then try law of cosines, all right? And so we're going to take the strategy and look at a few examples. So these are practice questions that are all mixed up like they would be on a test. And your job and my job is to figure out which one we're going to use and then use that strategy to solve the right triangle or the non-right triangle. Okay. So here we have two angles and a side. Let's draw a diagram. All right, so we've got angle A, angle B, angle C. So 68.41, 54.23, and little a is 12.75 feet. Okay. So my first strategy is try law of sines. So sine 68.41 over 12.75 equals sine of 54.23 over little b, which equals sine of angle C over little c. All right, I have this one as a full pair. I have this one as not a full pair, and this one definitely not, because I don't have the angle or the side, all right? But I could approach this in a few different ways. If you're the kind of person who likes to find all the angles first, as long as you have two angles, so check this out, I've got angle A and angle B, I can find angle C by subtracting from 180. All right, so I'm going to find angle C first. And so angle C equals 180 minus 68.41 minus 54.23. And let's see what that gives us. 180 minus 68.41 minus 54.23 gives me angle C is 57.36 degrees. Okay? So I've got one angle, and now I have to find little b and little c. I have to find those sides. Really your choice on which one you choose to do next, okay? I'm going to go ahead and find little b first. Okay, so I'm going to find little b. So to find little b, I'm going to use my law of sines. So sine of 68.41 over 12.75 equals sine of 54.23 over little b. I'm going to cross multiply. B sine 68.41 equals 12.75 sine 54.23. And I'm going to go ahead and divide. So little b equals 12.75 sine 54.23 over sine of 68.41. Type that all into the calculator. And divided by sine 68.41 will give me a little b of 11.126 feet. Okay? All right, one more side to find. We're going to go ahead and find little c. So let's put that. All right, let's put that off to the side over here. So here we go. Number 3, find little c. Okay, so we're going to use the full pair from A. So sine of 68.41 divided by 12.75 equals, what did we find for angle C? 57.36. So sine of 57.36 over little c, and that will help me find my third side. So cross multiply. C sine 68.41 equals 12.75 sine of 57.36. Divide. So c equals 12.75 sine of 57.36 over sine of 68.41. Let's get that into the calculator, see what it gets us. And we end up with a c value of 11.547 feet. Okay? So I know law of sines was the last section, but on a test it's going to be all mixed up, and so I really want us to practice that decision making, okay? And law of sines is easier to use, so if you can use it, and if you can't, don't panic, just try law of cosine. All right, let's take a look at example 2. So example 2 says I have an angle and a side and a side. So let's draw our diagram, see what we get. So I've got 48.5, 4730, and little a is 3850. Okay. So there's really only one case that I need to be careful about, and that is this one. Side, angle. All right? That side angle is a pain for us because that's the one where we could have more than one triangle or maybe not even any triangles at all. All right? So let's set up our law of sines and see how we can go about this. So sine of A over 3850 equals sine 48.5 over 4730 equals sine of C over C. All right, one full pair, not a full pair, almost a full pair. All right, so let's find angle A first. I'm going to go ahead and take these two, and I'm going to cross multiply right off the bat to find angle A. So I get 4730 sine A equals 3850 sine of 48.5. All right, sine A equals 3850 sine 48.5 over 4730. Type that into the calculator. Let's see what we get. And we get an sine of A equals 0.6096. All right, so how many possible values could I have on my triangle? I could have this one could be 0.6096 as a y value, or I have my other option. So I have to consider both cases. Okay, so let's take a look at case number 1. Okay, so case number 1, I do sine of A equals 0.6096. So if I take the inverse sine of both sides, I'm going to get A equals 37.561 degrees as a possibility. All right. Now, since we found A, let's go ahead and find angle C to make sure they can make a triangle. So 180 minus 37.561 minus 48.5. Let's see what that gives us. And I get an angle C of 93.939 degrees. So I have angle A, I have angle B, and or angle C rather. So far things look good. The only thing I need to find now is I need to find little c. So find little c, and I'm going to do that using the information for B and setting it equal to the ratio for C. And I'm going to cross multiply. And I'm going to divide. And I'm going to turn that into a decimal. And what do I get for my C? I get 6300.541 as my little c. Okay? So that's case number 1. But let's see, what about case number 2? Okay? So case number 2, I would do angle A equals 180 minus the one I found, 37. So 180 minus 37.561 will give me 142.439. Okay, so let's see. Do we have enough angles left to find, or degrees left to find angle C? So 180 minus 142.439 minus 48.5. So 180 minus 142.439 minus 48.5 gives us negative 10.939. Okay? Now, we haven't seen one of these yet, but this is an ambiguous case where one case works. So that means I definitely have at least one triangle, but I can't have an angle with negative degrees in a triangle. So this one doesn't work, and I can say that there's only one triangle in this case. Okay? So that's kind of how you know. You get to a point you're like, this doesn't make sense. Like, the numbers don't make sense, and that's how you know either you got no triangles or one triangle. Okay? All right, we're going to stop here for this video. Come on back for the next part.